Perfect. All right. Let's do this thing properly now.
Yo.
All right. Everything should be fine now. Sorry about the technical difficulty.
Yeah, I was thinking, what's going on with your thing over there?
And do you know what the mad thing is here? People request me on live all the time on my own internet and it's always fine. But
Yeah.
because I want to do a live,
All right.
but it's fine. We've got data out here.
No, that's calm. That's calm. Can everybody hear me in that, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Can everyone put a thumbs
Yo,
up?
shout out to Tia, you know.
Everyone share up the live. Hi, Clee. Hi, everybody.
Yo, well gone, Harriet, yeah? You good, yeah?
So shall we start with introduce yourself and just tell people what you do and your podcast and everything?
Yeah, so for people that don't know me, I'm Tailz. I've got a podcast called Straight Out the Box for those that don't know. Basically, it's a podcast that talks about everything and anything. Anything that goes on that affects us as a people, or do you know what I say, where it could be relationships, racism, God knows, whatever the weather, I speak about it, do you know what I mean? And it's open to everybody and anybody that wants to come in there and have a conversation about things, because it's about, you know, people just having conversations. You know what I'm saying? Why only have those conversations to have behind closed doors when we can have it out in public as well? I'm being unapologetic about it as well, you feel me? So that's my thing, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. And I think, do you know what? Yeah, what's crazy as well is for those who don't know or may know already, actually, last year through my fabulous friend Sherelle, I met Tailz, and last year we actually did a podcast based on colorism where we just spoke about an all-rounded effect.
Yes. Yeah. Go check that out as well. It's on, is the link still up on your page?
Yes, I believe it still is.
Yeah, so people go check that out. Is it on the Lisa
It's
Brown one
on
or?
Lisa_Brown Coach VR, my main page that most people have. It's on there, and it should also be on Consciousness in the City. But if it's not, I'm gonna put it on there.
Yeah,
Hey,
so people go check that out, and obviously check out my last episode with Bliss the Bully. It's on my page as well in Straight O.T.B. So check that out. Yo, well gone, Cheryl. Do you know what I mean? She's locked in there. What's going on, Jade? You good?
we just mentioned
Glad that
her.
you can make it. Huh?
We just mentioned her name as well. Then she just jumped on.
Yeah. See, look, that's what I'm saying. The universe. See how it works.
Even when we spoke about the colorism last year
Mm.
within the community and everything, us as Black people, we, as you know, we also touched up on racism because it all sort of interlinks. Like, so
Yeah.
definitely go and watch that, check it out, people, because it definitely is a good watch.
Yeah, oh yeah, 150%. Funny enough, obviously a quick disclaimer about that one. It was recorded, but something went wrong with the actual footage. So for people, it's actually I'm gonna keep it 100.
You were
So
so
it's actually
good.
audio. Pardon?
I was so good that I forgot. I forgot about
Yeah.
that part. Yeah.
So it's audio, people. So I gotta let people know when you go watch that. Yeah, just be prepared. It's audio. So but nonetheless, it's still a good show. You feel me? Still a good show to go and watch and check out and everything like that. You feel me?
Cleaning, you can just listen to that, but the rest of them they're visual. So yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I got this. Why we're doing this, because I gotta redeem it. Do you know what I'm saying? I gotta redeem that episode.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, people go check that out. Shout out to everyone that's just joining the live now. Sounds of Sensei. Big up
Yeah.
yourself.
I'll just introduce myself quickly for people that's jumped in from your live as well. People
Yeah,
share up the
yeah.
live,
Do your thing.
and all these things. So I'm Lisa. I have a page called Consciousness in the City. So it's a platform where it basically is just a self-help space for everybody, males and females. I share inspirational quotes based on like personal development, love, growth, finding one's purpose, happiness, just positivity. So all things that sort of like read consciousness. So post those. and I'm trying to do more speaking opportunities as well. So that's what I do on that side of things. And then in addition to that, I also do PR. So that's another passion of mine. And I tend to do that with in different areas, so within entertainment and so forth. So that's just me in a nutshell. But yeah, so if anything, we can get started really. I'd say,
Yeah. Do you know what? First and foremost, I wanna before we started, before we
yeah,
start anyway, basically I want to say, listen, anything that I say is mine and my opinion only. I don't speak for no black race or anything like that. It's just how I think and feel, and I'm unapologetic about it. You get me? So don't take no offense. If you take offense, then you might want to lock off the live to anything that I say in it. Or do you know what? Add your comments, say what you feel in it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. Everybody to have a discussion and say what they think of and feel. And if anybody wants to jump on at any point and have a conversation with either myself or Lisa, then do you know what I'm saying? Feel free to come true and let your people and anybody else come on and join. Shout out to Rachel. Again, shout out to Sounds of Sensei. First and foremost, with the whole George Floyd thing, I want to
mm,
give out like my condolences to, his family and everything and friends and anybody that might be affected by this. Do you know what I'm saying? Because this is really a big situation and a big thing, not only for them, but us black people as a whole entire race. Do you know what I'm saying? This is something that, a lot of us have been dealing with for a long period of time. And I also want to give a big shout out to those people that didn't get noticed or this much
yeah,
publicity as George Floyd did. So without further ado, I do want to mention that first off, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Black love to everybody, all my black kings and queens. Do you know what I'm saying? Um,
definitely.
what's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on the whole thing, the riots, the looting, and all of that business?
Do you know what? Yeah, I think just with everybody else, of course, I'm tired. We're all tired and everything. But one thing I must say, but I've noticed a difference with George Floyd's death. Like, again, condolences to his family and anyone affected, because we're all affected because we've all had similar experiences, whether it's directly people that you know or people that you know also got it. But for me, I think that I've noticed a slight shift
Mm,
only with this impact. It seems like more people have sort of like got involved and took a stand, whether it be they're speaking more about it, they're going
yeah,
out people are doing all kinds of things. I don't know if quarantine has something to do with that too, and with everything that's going on with COVID, the
yeah,
timing definitely does seem intact. But I think we can't forget some of the developments that have come from that. Because even with George Floyd and Belly, I noticed a few recent developments this week
mm,
where they're investigating and not just closing things completely. So I think it's just, for me, I just feel like this happens a lot in the UK too, but
mm,
I don't always see that widespread support globally, like whether it be even with America, like
yeah.
jumping bandwagon. So I have mixed emotions about it, I would say.
Do you know what? I see a video the other day. I don't know if you've seen it, the John Boyega one, where he talks about like another black person getting killed, America again. Do you know what I'm saying? And even though I'm not from there and I'm from the UK, but fuck it, I'm still black. And he went on to say that fuck racist white people. And a lot of white people got onto him about it. And I was
Yeah,
thinking, wow, do you know what? I ain't gonna lie, keeping it 100, I stand by what he said. Do you know what? Fuck racist white people. Because my thing is this: he's identified the type of white people there are, and those are the racist ones. But for the fact that white people went into straight defensive mode and started attacking him, talking about, oh, do you know what? Fuck that. It's the last time I ever watched Star Wars. Let's keep it 100. I'm not a fan of Star Wars. No one really gives a monkeys about Star Wars or whether you're gonna watch it again. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's not the point here. Do you know what I mean? And then you had one woman that went on to say, do you know what? You're not from over here. You're not from over here. You're from the UK. It's different. I don't need to be over there to empathize and see what's going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you look in the early days with apartheid, like no one. people don't realize that it wasn't just what the Black South Africans did, it's what the world did. It addressed something and acknowledged it and addressed it and said, you know what, this needs to stop. And that's how the apartheid actually stopped. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it takes everybody looking at the situation and saying, you know what, wrong is wrong, regardless of what the situation may be. You
I
understand? And
was even touching back on what you said about a lot of white people getting defensive when he said about racist white people. And as he said, as you said, he highlighted a type of white people in the same way you can highlight a selective type of black people. Like, we are
yeah,
not, if someone is negative, it doesn't mean that we all reflect that same level of negativity. We don't. Do you know what I mean? So back
exactly.
just towards going back to our first point that we was trying to stress with accountability and change,
Yeah,
where it's actually, that's a reflection of who they are. Because if you're triggered, people can't trigger what doesn't exist.
yeah,
Do you understand? So if you're triggered by someone saying that racist white people, then that means that you have some level of racism within you.
yeah,
Do you
yeah,
get?
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, you could take a stand. It's just like when they say all lives matter. We're not saying that no one's lives matter, but when for decades and decades that we've seen our race just sort of like being seen as the last on the earth, when really we was the first on the earth. Do you know? You
mm,
know,
yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
we just want to be remind you guys that we matter. And until
yeah.
all lives matter, we can't be saying that.
Do you know what? And shout out to Sansa Sensei that said some people can't differentiate between the movies and real life. They're not seeing him as true self, but a character. Yeah, no, I
Like,
totally agree with that. You know, like I totally agree with that. People are just lost in this sort of source. Like I don't know what it is because you know what the funniest thing is, and like you were saying about accountability, media plays a very big part
mm-hmm.
to the conditioning of these white people. And I'm saying
Thank,
these so-called racist white people. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
yeah.
as black people, we're being underrepresented and overrepresented when it comes to certain things. Do you
Fact.
understand? And when it's something negative, race is associated with it. But when it comes to something a black person doing positively, it's next to none when it comes about mentioning race. It's not race now. It's all of a sudden you're British. Do you understand what
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to say? And that's the biggest problem with what you might want to call it like a mass manipulation, because that's
Yeah,
what it is. We're getting manipulated. Remember, people don't understand that the BBC is not for us. This is not our thing. Like, you understand? That's a political thing. You get me? That's politics and economics. That's what their thing is. That's not our news. That's their news and what they want to put out. That's why, like, when people don't realize, it's like, all right, in England, between 2008 and 2019, 3% of the population
yeah.
are black that were in prison, but 86 of the population are white that are in prison. But you won't see that on the news. You understand?
Mm,
They're so focused
yeah.
on black on black crime.
Mhm.
Not to say that black on black crime ain't an issue, because it is an issue. But when we do the grand scheme of things, do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more that white people them are doing than more than black people them, but it's not shown in the media or anything like that, and that's the problem.
That is a fact. Just as my cousin said, street gangs don't snitch, and the biggest gang in the world don't snitch on each other. And that is so
Fact.
true because, as you
Shout
know,
out
the
to
media,
Tyrone.
yeah, the media, the government, they all have their own agenda, like what they choose to share, what they're not allowed to share, how much is revealed. I could show you even a classic example. Like, I remember when I was working with a magazine, like when I first started doing a bit of PR, there
Yeah.
was this, the manager that I had at the time. So we used to do things like go to different concerts and then we'd write about it and review it or whatever. And Lady Leisha, she wasn't a fan of that magazine platform at all because, again, they're a bit like Shadeborough, like they'll post the most, they'll say the most, and
Yeah.
some artists get rubbed the wrong way.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
want you to like do an interview and like structure it a certain way, and they're giving me directions. So it's not even like they're giving me basic directions. It's almost in a way I just weren't comfortable with that. And the
Yeah.
thing is, for some people who are just hungry for success and all the rest, like they'll probably just submit to just do whatever, and then it tarnishes their own character and everything. But
Yeah.
in the end, I didn't do it. And then I spoke to her privately, and I had my own separate interview on my platform, and it
Yeah.
went well. But it just goes to show that there's different ways to go about things. It's the same in the workplace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 I think, do you know what? I think for us, obviously, as Black people, we could always, do more in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Individually and collectively. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, when you got little things like, well, not even little, they're big things, but when you got things like obviously the media working against you, then you've got people that you might see in real life, whether it's the workplace or whatever. Like sometimes
Yeah,
I'm not surprised by the way they treat us, because for some of them, you're conditioned that way. Even from when you're born, you're conditioned that way, either intentionally or unintentionally. You're conditioned a
yeah,
certain way. Whereas I walk down the street, I might be just one person by myself. It might be in a car full of four white people. Or automatically you're locking your doors as soon as I walk past your car. It's like, what?
yeah,
Like, what's going on? Do you understand? When I'm waiting in a queue, then automatically you want to serve the next white person behind me, but I was here first. Little things, they're conditioned a certain way. Do you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's time for, like, obviously it's out there, but some people are not willing to educate themselves to see that there is a problem, because a lot of the people are still in denial, especially in London, in UK. A lot of people are still in denial that this is still really out there. Like, I don't know if any of you have seen the brown eyes, blue eyes exercise by Jane Elliott.
Yes.
All right. Did you see the one? So for the people there, basically the brown eyes and blue eyes exercise is about seeing how it is to be racially abused, how it is on the other foot. So basically, this white woman called Jane Elliott,
A real
she was a
G.
teacher. She was a real G. She was a white woman. She was a teacher. And basically, she was during the times, she was there around the times of when Martin Luther King was still alive and everything like that. And she was very much in support of, you know, human rights. Do you know what I'm saying? Because she always used to advocate that, do you know what? The only race is human race. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
But so her whole experiment was, do you know what? Let's separate the brown from the blue eyes. The browns are seen as quote unquote the white people. The blue eyes are quote unquote the black people. And so basically, she's just showing them people how it feels like to be on the other foot and everything like that. And whilst in America, that was, I would say, it's brutal exercise, but it was a great experiment for people to see how it really feels. Just for 2 hours, just being in our shoes for 2 hours, where we got to deal with this as a lifetime. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
But she did this in the UK. I think, is it 7 or 8 years ago? I think it was round about them. I'm not sure, so don't quote me. But check it up. It's on YouTube.
It's
Brown
on
and
you.
blue eyes exercise. And what you realize is that the people in the UK were oblivious, like they couldn't fathom, they just couldn't understand what it was like to be us. You understand what I'm trying to say? And
Yeah.
what I got from that in comparison to the exercise that she applied in America is that we are in total denial down and over here. You got one person that tried to compare, oh, do you know what? I get sort of abuse because I'm overweight. I'm this, that, and the other. And they're thinking, but you can change your weight. I can't change the color of my skin. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what's mind-boggling, that you want to compare an actual race to body weight, or just because you got blonde hair, you can dye your blonde hair. Do you understand what I'm trying to
This
say?
is
You
it.
can't change this. Yeah. Once born black, that's it. I'm gonna die black. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So
Mm-hmm.
people go check it out. Brown eyes, blue eyes exercise by Jane Elliott. Jane JaneELliot. Jane Elliott. People go check that out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
It's
sorry, go
so
on,
I
Lisa.
fully agree with you, because there's even this other channel called Real Black. Because this is another thing, guys. I'm gonna give people the chance in a moment, like for anyone that wants to jump on and speak and have their say. Because again, this is a safe space where everyone can just have their opinion. So Yeah, so again, just stemming back to what I was saying, with the channel Real Black now, I saw a lot of live
Mm,
footage that they collected and different experiments. So if you go on there, there's
mm,
like hundreds of videos from back in the day, even like in the 70s, where
yeah,
you see the different talk shows that they have on TV, and you have
yeah,
the white people in the audience, and they're so racist and they don't even see it. And when they had the black man on stage that was speaking about certain racial encounters, they was just so, they were like, now I'm scared of you. Like you're being intimidating. Do you know what I mean? And it's like they just
yeah,
didn't see it. But to see these footages then, and to see even the black people that you could see, like with a lot of the black men, they were being taken to jail for petty things like stealing things in the shop, or but little petty things, they will get taken to jail for a long period of time, but they weren't
mm,
given them the opportunity to even get themselves out. So
yeah,
even when they were innocent, they was throwing them in, and then they wouldn't have money to bail themselves out. And then even when they were guilty, it was the same situation. And then
yeah,
when
yeah,
they threw women's rights at us, which, okay, cool, we needed independence and that was a good thing, but it wasn't designed for us in the right way. Like, it wasn't made for us to empower us. It was made for us to push out the black men out of our households. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Whilst they're being taken away, there's more and more broken families, and the same things happening today.
yeah. That's where when it comes. Yeah, when it comes to those relationships and everything like that, it's mad because I've got people that can tell you all day about those interracial and staying. But what I wanted to ask you actually, um,
Yeah.
what do you think that we could do individually or collectively
Ah. So in what respect? Which part are you talking about? Just to be
in terms
clear.
of tackling racism?
Ah. So I would say individually, to tackle racism, there's a number of things that we can do. But to start off, there's a number of things that we're not doing. And I think that when it comes to individually, what we need to do is, when you are in these experiences where, let's say you're at work, you're out there, if you are in an experience where you see racism happening, or it's happening to you in the moment, if you
Mm,
have to take a moment to breathe, cool, but we have to get in the people breathe, and that is a natural response sometimes, but we have to confront these issues. Like,
mm,
and don't always confront it with the anger that you're feeling in the moment, because I know it's hard, because the first thing you're going to think is you want to punch them in the face or whatever it may be. And you know what? If you're
yeah.
going to, but before you even get to that, if you have to get to that, educate. The
Mm,
reason why I say that is because if you box them and then you two go out and you fight or whatever, you go about your business, or it doesn't escalate any further than that, that person's left with the same ignorance that they came at you with. But even if they didn't believe in what you were saying, if you gave them that education to correct them and make them feel small, whatever it is, then at least at some point that's going to come back to them. They'll remember what you said. You know what I mean? Whether they
yeah,
believe it, remember what you said. But
yeah.
at least give them the box and the education. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out Miss Croydon Galaxy UK. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. We need to tackle issues amongst
Yeah.
ourselves. 150%
And I
agree with
think
that.
another thing we have to do individually as well is, like Angel said, we have to do these issues amongst ourselves. So
Mm,
it's not the same thing, but it relates either way. So even yourself, if you find yourself even in your own family where you've got people dissing each other when it comes to shade, or thinking one's superior because their hair's longer and curly or whatever it is, or I'm the brown one, or like in the Caribbean community and the black community
yeah,
as well, there's a lot where
yeah.
people say things like, oh, she blackie, or she call her blackish or whatever. We need to stop all of that shit, because
Mm,
everyone can laugh and kiki, and sometimes even you, when it's happening to you, you laugh and kiki, but you don't know how that person feels once they've left you.
yeah.
We're beating each other down. And when we're beating each other down, that's not building us up. Like, we need to build each other up individually, and
Mm,
collectively we need to build each other up. So if you walk down the street and you see a fellow black sister, smile. Like,
fact.
don't look at her and think, oh, like, oh, like, what's she smiling for? Like, smile, say hello to somebody. Do you know what I mean? Because these little things, like, it just reflects love. And we
Yeah,
need,
yeah.
they're not giving it to us, but we need to give it to ourselves.
Oh yeah, facts. I think self-hate is one of the biggest things amongst ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And funny enough,
Hmm.
like just on the note of like stop battling each other, one thing that somebody mentioned the other day, it's like even with these gangs, you're so quick to go and quote unquote quote, yeah, go fight your next brother that lives on another block and another estate, which is an area that he doesn't even own. But yet, once your black brother has been attacked, you want to be one of those people to scream out justice. It don't make no sense. Do you
Hmm.
understand what I'm trying to say? So this whole battling each other makes no sense to me. We're fighting over bricks and water that we don't even own. Because if we were smart enough, we'd be owning these bricks and water. You understand what I'm trying to say? But because we're so fickle and because we don't like that person over there or we don't like that sister for whatever reason, yeah, we want to fight amongst them and then call it, oh, do you know what? I'm not a dickhead. I'm not this. But the white man comes and violates you, you want to start screaming justice like it's like to say raw. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't, for us, unless we actually all to come together as one, I don't see us battling this racism. Do you know what I'm saying? Because remember, it works in their favor for us to be divided.
It
Do you
does.
understand?
And
It works in our favor with their favor. Sorry, carry on.
no, 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 no. Carry on. Just to touch up on what you said, you're so right. It definitely works in their favor for us to divide. And we have to remember they installed that, they designed that for us to divide. Do you know what I mean? They planted the seeds way back when they did what they had to do to hide our history, make us forget who we are, make us believe that we're less than, tear our families apart, and then leave us
There you
self.
go.
Because once they plant the seeds, they don't have to do much no more. They
Yeah,
could continue to mass manipulate us, through the media, through the laws and regulations, through the workplace, through what we can and can't do, where we can and can't go, how we spend our money, how we can invest our money. All these
there
things
you
I'm
go.
looking at, these are all the ways that they planted the seeds and left us to self-destruct. But the difference is, when we look at all these other cultures like the Jewish community, the Asians, the
Yeah,
Philippines, like, or I don't know, whoever it may be, when you look at all these other with certain things that they do differently, one thing that they do is build up their they build up their community. Do you know what I mean? So when it
yeah.
comes to like in having their own businesses, creating things that maybe their people don't necessarily need, but other races need, so that the money comes back to them. Like they do
Mm.
that very well. Like, do you know what I mean? Even when it
Yeah.
comes to people in the family, they rally up and put their 50 pence together or whatever it is to make things happen.
Do you know
But
what?
we
Funny enough, no,
said,
sorry, go on.
there you go on.
Do you know what? Shout out to Jade when she said the education system plays a big part too. And that's another thing. They do play a big part because at the end of the day, remember, we're getting taught their education, not our education,
Mhm.
their
They're
education. Do you understand? Remember, we're in the era of they're teaching us how to pass their exam. They're not teaching you life skills. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not teaching you like how to find wealth, economics, and everything like that. Because remember, with the divide, it benefits them politically and financially. Do you understand? You see, if we start working together, by i.e., do you know what? Investing in more black businesses. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what? I need a cameraman. Let me holler at this black brother over here. Do you know what? I'm doing an event where a publicity event. Do you know what? Let me holler at you as a promoter, marketing promoter, PR. Do you understand what I'm
Mhm.
trying to say? Like it seems like for some of us, not all, some black people judge our standards of excellence by the white person. Do you understand? If I live in Chelsea around the white people, it looks like I've made it. Like I've achieved some sort of success. Do you understand? If my
Yeah.
lawyer is white and he's Jewish, I know that okay, cool. I mean, have some sort of success because I can afford a man like that. As opposed to what about this black brother over here? Why can't I be successful living in a black area and be that guy? Do you know what I'm saying? Financially, be that staple for all the other young black youths, other black kings and black queens. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to invest in more of each other's businesses, black people's businesses, because you know what? Right now, financially, we help them make money. We're providing for them. We buy into their services. We need to buy
Yeah.
into our own services. You see that if we every single black person, we're about just under 2 million in the UK. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone invested in only black businesses. Think about it. Take our money with each of those black businesses, invest that. Yeah. With each
See,
of your profits, take a percentage. Yeah. All right. Each of that percentage goes into things like funding child minders for single parent mothers, allowances for lower house income for black families, programs for young kings and queens that's come out of the incarceration to help them find jobs, grants for brothers and black sisters, yeah, to start up and set up their own businesses, pump money into our education, teaching them
yeah.
our history, our culture, everything. Money going into legal aid to help our brothers and sisters to fight the court system, which is designed against us. These are all things that can help fight this battle. Do you know what I'm saying? And working together. And do you understand what I'm trying to say? Instead of us investing in, and do you know what? Don't get it twisted. I'm a victim of it, innit? Because sometimes I find myself buying a Prada and I might buy a Louis or I might go buy a Nike, but I need to support my next black brother or my black sister into her own brand. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Fully
So,
hear you.
like, this is what I'm saying. Unless we come together as a people, we're going to be struggling to fight all these other things that affect us as a people.
That is a fact. Because you see, stemming back to what you just said, until we can have our own schools and everything and all the rest, as we know, most of our kids spend most of their time at school. So we need to create our own curriculum, just as we have this quarantine and even outside of quarantine, we need to have our own things that we teach our children and ourselves. So when it comes to things that when it comes to investment and being able to be better with finances, we can do that. When it comes to our hidden history, remember, the same way they choose and select what they will teach us at school, we can choose and
Facts.
select what we teach ourselves and our children at home. But I want to go back
Facts.
to what you said about exchanging services.
Right.
Way back when, before Rockefeller, before the banking system and all these things were introduced, we need to get back to basics. Like before before money existed and was implemented like that, what people did was exactly what you said. People exchanged goods and services. They exchanged their skills that they had.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
me and PR, you doing whatever it is that you do, we exchange
Mm.
services. My other friend
Yeah.
does. My other friend's a DJ. I do this. We exchange services. You sell
Yeah.
fruit and veg. Someone else does hair. You do my hair. I give you fruit and veg. We need to get back to that. I know we
Facts.
still do it. We still do it now a little bit where you say, "Oh, right, let me do somebody a favor and help them with this." But do you know what? For every pound that you're collecting, with
Mm.
whether it be your products that you sell, your services that you distribute, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
also make sure that you give. When you express gratitude, then you give back to your people, yeah. Blessings
Mm.
come back to you. I'm telling you in ways that sometimes you don't even expect. So you're not even
Exactly.
always doing it for the other person. Do it for yourself too. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to
Shout
get
out
back
to
to being
Nate.
good.
Yeah. Sorry. Shout out to Nate about buying our blocks and building our communities. Yeah.
Yeah.
150%.
I'm gonna check the request soon. So if anybody wants to request a live, please request a live so I can have a
Yeah,
look
man.
and then I can add anybody in. But honestly, when it comes to personal development, I can't reach it enough. Like another thing as well, yeah, when we look at us as black people, we dominate so much in entertainment and in
Facts.
sports. And that's great, it's amazing. Don't get me wrong. However, what's happening is as much as it's a great thing, we're out there, we're all over the TV, we're global, like people see us and love everything that we have. The industry just uses us as props and everything, which is why we see, as much as you see in the acting world and in the music industry as well, people are fighting to be independent and thrive through being independent, as we're seeing a handful of people do it in the
Yeah.
UK and in the US and all over.
Yeah.
But that being said, we need to get back to basics. When you look at other areas, yeah, technology,
Mm.
engineering,
Yeah.
manufacturing, agriculture. Okay, we kind of dominate agriculture as well, but when you look at all these other areas, yeah, These are money-making schemes. These are things that promote invention. We don't
Yeah.
dominate areas. It's the Chinese people and the Asians that you see dominating these areas. And then when they've got money on top of it because they've been able to make it from that, they're able to then start to dominate countries. So what we
Mm.
need to do is get back to the basics of encouraging our children to explore these areas. And when they do, don't knock them for it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
encourage them to be an engineer, encourage them to create things because that's where the money's at. That's
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
can
yeah,
business and really impact on your community.
yeah. And it's
And
funny enough, sorry, no, actually, go on, because I'm just reading this comment. Say, go on.
oh, what was the comment saying? Let's see, because we have to be reading.
I forgot. It just went, but it was Nate's Nines was saying something about reading
We need to
contracts.
start reading contracts too when it comes to hey, we're going to talk about that. We need to start reading contracts too when it comes to business. Black people need to fail to understand contracts. This is a very big fact in multiple areas. Like, contracts are long for a reason. They have so
Mm.
many different layers and so many different ways that usually will be more in favor of the person creating the contract. This is why it's so important to realize that contracts are there to be negotiated and you
Yeah,
are your person. Like, so don't just leave it to somebody else to manage your finances when things start to get really big for you or really hard or whatever it is. Like, take control, take the time to read stuff, add, know your worth, add your value, request
yeah,
what you,
yeah, yeah.
because if people get trapped in contracts.
And then it's another thing altogether. You feel me? Like that's why, like you see, like talking about, encouraging black people. Like, all right, cool. My platform hasn't got off the ground yet, but even with my platform, if people notice, and if you go check my episodes of my podcast, each after in each episode, whether I talk about everything and anything, I also promote black businesses. So
Mm-hmm.
shout out to AJWT. She does natural skincare products. Potion Universe, they're an alcohol company. Do you know what I'm saying? Which fantastic products. Go check them out. But my main thing is with my platform, I want to promote black businesses because that's where we are the future. Do you understand? Because if we weren't, these people wouldn't have needed to bring us all the way from Africa, you know. Do you know what I'm
It's
saying? To come help and build their thing. You understand? We help build their dream and invent a lot of the stuff that they even use until to this day. And the funniest thing is, there is a lot of intelligent people amongst us, do you know what I'm saying? But a lot of us are not using that knowledge that we have, including ourselves, like me and you, to put it to good use in order to create a foundation for our kids and grandkids to come. You understand what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And going back to what Nate underscore 9, again, that's all down to education because not a lot of people are educated to know how the
Yeah.
business works as well. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Not many people are clued up in that type of information. This is why we need to start educating each other. This is
This is
why,
it.
this is why,
I
like,
remember
go on.
before, we've got resources out there. I mean, there's always been resources out there, but there's more resources out there. Like, there's, if you say anything that you want to do or you're trying to do, research. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we have YouTube, we have Google, we have books, like, we have so many different things. So, as you said, like, even if you don't have the money to pay for something, to invest in yourself in areas that where you may be weak, but you know you want to strengthen your knowledge, you
Yeah,
can find resources until you can actually, you know, and then you can develop yourself same way. But we have to do these things because if we don't, what happens is we get opportunities and then we get excited and we either block those opportunities or we destroy them based on the fact that it's lack of knowledge.
yeah,
And when we get to that, we can't blame anyone really but ourselves, no matter how much somebody else may have influenced what we don't know. Like,
yeah. No, of course. I think who's that talk? Cause shout out to Woke Dark, and shout out to Miss Croydon Galaxy. I think, do you know what? We as we're a funny bunch, innit? Because don't get me wrong, I've heard, And I'm sure many people have heard that, oh, do you know what? This deal fell through with that black person and that fell through with that black person, and then just quick to write off the next black person. Like, do you know what? This is the reason why I can't do business with black people, because
That's
of
what it
rare tear and tear. But do you know what? These will be the same people, yeah? You go fucking, if people, let's just use McDonald's, for example. You might not like the McDonald's in Hackney, but you go to the McDonald's in Brixton, though, you still eat that McDonald's. So keep the same energy when you're doing that as well, innit? Do you get me? Don't be so quick to write off the next black man or the black woman that the business, because remember, it's business at the end of the day. Sometimes things go through and some things fall flat in their face. But this is the art of getting to know each other and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes in life, not everything's guaranteed. But the
this
whole the thing to come around from that is to keep trying and not let nothing hold you back from achieving excellence. Let's be our own excellence. Let's achieve get our, do you understand what I'm trying to say? As a people, we're excellent. We need to come up with a mind thinking, do you know what? I'm that shit. Like I'm that brother, or I'm that queen, I'm that king, or I'm that queen. And move accordingly like that. You understand what I'm trying to say? As opposed to moving all timid and everything like that.
this is
Nate's
this,
nine.
this
It's
is
hard because we can't share our details of deals, but we do have to have open discussions with people. I'm telling you, we need more conversations. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Not just here. Do you know what I'm saying? Everywhere amongst our community. You understand what I'm trying to say? That we can't, because no one else ain't gonna do it for us. You know.
no.
But I
Remember,
can't rely. I
they've
can't
tried.
rely on John and Fred to come talk for me.
It
Do you
doesn't work.
understand what I'm trying to say? It don't work like that. It ain't gonna come to you like that unless you're willing to get up off your ass and have conversations with your brother or your sister. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, look, this is the plan. This is the idea. This is the plan we want to set. Let's move. Do you understand? And start making steps. Because the funny thing is, and what like we were speaking on before the live, we were talking about. See, people want to come together when an incident like as sad as George Floyd situation happened. But come next week, nobody ain't gonna want to know each other. You understand? We need to
Mhm.
maintain the same energy.
Due to the effects of our past, we hide a lot of our jewels. It's so true of our jewels. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true. We need
yeah.
to
Shout
get
out to
back.
Sounds of Sensei. Yeah, go on.
No, it's so true what she was just saying. I was just reading that. We need this is it, because you know what, yeah, we can shift our buying behavior, like little things like take us when when you think about it, when you look at big brands, yeah, let me just think about okay, clothes for example. When you look at Pretty Little Thing, Boohoo,
Yeah.
Fashion Nova, whatever, when they first came, their shipping fees were wild or whatever, and things were a certain way. But after some time, when they've developed and they've grown and everything, and they got more popular, they install things like, I don't know, £7 delivery for the year, and then it's
Mm,
unlimited, get next day delivery. But
yeah.
we have to remember, but if you have a bad experience with a black business or whatever it be, like you
Mm,
said, don't be so quick to write them off. Don't be so quick to be like, okay, now I'm done. This is why we go to the Chinese man or the white man or whatever it is.
yeah.
Don't let things stop you from supporting your people, because you never know when you're going to introduce something yourself. Everybody needs support. We all need support. You
Yeah.
never know when you're going to introduce something when you're actually going to need that support. And not only that, don't let that stop you from going to other black businesses, because until we build them up, they won't be in a
Yeah.
position to be able to do things like offer us these great discounts and these great incentives. That is a narrative that needs to be discussed between them, where it can be mutually done, where if we spend more with them, we get back more with them. Do you know what I mean? If we shift our buying behavior where we spend more black and we spend less outside, we will start to see change. We will, because they'll be able to, for every black brand that is negative or only thinks about themselves, because they're out there. I'm not going to say that they're not out there. There will be another 5, 6 brands who are genuine and humble and want to, now that they've got the wealth and the platform, they want to do everything they can to be able to empower other businesses. So that's how it starts,
Yeah.
to do something different.
Do you know what's mad? And I found myself doing it the other day. I said, "Right, do you know what? man, I needed some hair oil, innit? So I thought, yeah, let me get some Jamaican black castor oil. Imagine, I'm buying this product, yeah, from a brother that's Asian behind the counter. No disrespect to Asians, but I don't understand why I'm buying it from them type of people there when my own people should be selling these products. It should be I should be able to go into, and I'm not just talking about the stores where you might find in bricks and market or on the high street and everything. Like, I'm talking about a store. I'm going into the store to buy our products.
Yeah.
That's being served by a man, yeah, that's not even from man's country. Like, it's bro, it's crazy to man. Like, it's
They don't
how
know
much.
nothing about our hair.
Huh? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You get like, I think it's crazy that some of you girl are going picking up wigs and them type of hair things and natural. And then the funny thing is, half of these Asian men ain't even selling authentic shea butter and everything like that. But I'm quick to go pick it up on my man there, because you know what, my man's open, it's local, and what rare tear and tear. You understand what I'm trying to say? When the medic and the funny thing is as well, seasoning. You know when the market's closed, and I think, shit, Tesco's is open.
Yeah.
I'm going Tesco's to buy our seasoning. You know, like, this is the funniest thing is, like, the white people them are selling our own products to us. That's what kills me. You understand what I'm trying to say?
The baddest thing is, we all know how to make seasoning.
Mm.
And it's
You
like,
understand what I'm
why
trying to
we not
say?
selling it ourselves? Like, even me right now, I'm even guilty of it. Like, classic example, right now in my fridge, I've got blended up like my original jerk rub, like one's barbecue and the other one's like all-purpose style sort of thing. Like, I could be selling that right now. Do you understand? Like, why are we not selling our own seasoning to our people when we know how our people like our food? Like,
All right.
what I mean, because they don't just sell their seasoning, they sell their Asian brand seasoning, but they also sell our seasoning and other Americans that are different seasons. They sell different types of brands. Like, we can do the same thing.
Exactly. And shout out Miss Croydon Galaxy. That's the funniest thing is, there's black businesses that sell many of the products that we use. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is though, Miss Croydon Galaxy, how many of them are actually stores? Like, how many of them can you go and say like, all right, cool, let me walk into an actual proper store and buy that product? That's like a Tesco's. Tesco's is even selling fucking Cantu and Shea fucking hair shampoo, you know?
I clocked that the other
You
day.
understand what I'm trying to say? Tesco's, big fuck off Tesco's, you know. You understand what I'm trying to say?
In Hackney, in the market, yeah, at the end of the market, yeah, in Dalston, yeah, there's this one grocery like store, yeah. Let me
Mm.
tell you, yeah, I've not seen a shop like this in Jamaica sorry, in the UK to
Yeah,
this extent. I felt like I was in Jamaica. Like, they had all of our seasonings, all of our fresh fruit and veg, like even some of the American branded ones that you probably couldn't get like in your regular Tesco or whatever. He sold
yeah,
all
yeah.
of the Black Caribbean, man, and it was just so refreshing to see. And I've gone there like a good couple times, like when I've needed to get
Whereabouts is
some
he?
in Dalston. So it's like
Dalston,
I've
yeah.
got plans to go to it, but it's like we need more of him. We need more of that. Like,
Listen, do you know what? Fuck that. Promoting. Whereabouts in Dalston is he?
I am. I'm gonna when I go there this week, even I'm gonna take a picture of the shop and then put up on Insta. So in Dalston Market, is
Yeah.
literally right at the end. Like, you can't miss him because he's the only one there and he's the only black owned one in that strip anyway. Because all of the rest of them are Asian, every single one.
There you go.
The
The
only one.
Asians are utilizing. The
Actually,
Asians
that's
are
a
more in
lie.
sync.
Sorry.
Go
There
on.
is there is other black stalls in Dalston Market. There's a handful, sorry, and they're
Mm.
also a lot of them are African owned. But he was the only Caribbean one, is what I was supposed to say. The
Yeah,
ratio,
yeah. Oh, okay.
because when you look at the fruit and veg, fish and meat, the majority is Asian.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Miss Croydon Galaxy said, I hear that most you have to, yeah, 'cause that's the funniest thing is like most, which obviously I know technology and everything that's going on, like the convenience of just ordering online is so much better. So again, to be fair, there's no excuse. But like for a man like me, I don't really do. So anyone that knows me, I don't really do the online thing like that. Other than posting my stuff for the podcast and promoting black business, I'm not really online like that. I'm more of a person that I like to go to the physically go to the shop and get something and pick up something. You understand what I'm trying to say? And that's why sometimes if I deep it, which I'm at fault for doing as well, I'll randomly run into these shops Do you know what I'm saying? On a quick one, like since I'm out, let me just run into this Asian man shop car. I know you have the products, the hair products or the skin products that I may need, as opposed to, do you know what? Let me go online and order this, because you got to think about places like, is it Mac that women? Is it Mac for women?
Yeah.
Mac, Lush,
Run,
all of them
M1,
type of
yeah.
things. Listen, you black women are spending money up in them places there. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let's not the man them you're spending in places like Choices and everything where you're spending your Louis, your Gucci, your Prada. But we need to invest that money properly in black businesses. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm sure amongst us, and with social media now being the big thing, I'm sure we can all find somebody that a black business that we can put our money into and invest in, whether it's your hair products, your natural skin products. Like, the world is our oyster now that we've got online. So as opposed, even if it's, do you know what? And the funny thing is, I see this thing about, is it next month, 7th of July, like nobody, or they're trying to get black people not to spend a penny or anything like that. I don't know if you see that.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's something that they're implementing. I mean, it's a good idea, but sorry to interrupt you. I just
No, no, go on.
like, it's a great idea and everything, but for me, this is the problem I have. Like, we keep doing things for a day or like a week,
Facts.
like, and I just feel like with that same energy, we
Yeah,
need to implement the same type of movement, yeah, but instead of it being for a day, is permanently, or it's even for a year, to give people a chance to trial and test it and really get used to it. So it's something that is going to have a lot of impact where it's continuously pushed. That's how we're going to spark real change. If we're doing things for a day, after a month, people are going to forget about it. So
yeah,
we've got pull up or shut up, and we've got Black Lives Matter, and we've got all these different movements. Create the same type of thing with the same type of energy, but with a longer lasting effect. So
yeah,
that way, it becomes a lifestyle. We need to
yeah,
promote a lifestyle. Like, that is the
exactly.
problem we have it. We keep promoting daily movements.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
as big as George Floyd's case has been, like, unless there's some sort of a lifetime movement coming, a lifestyle movement coming out of it, again,
mm,
it's going to be something else that is brushed under the carpet.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
we've been doing the same thing for so long. So it's like, we need to do something different now. So once we get back, whatever that is going to be different, it needs to be something that we can all learn and adapt towards. Because remember, everything we've been doing hasn't been working. So another daily movement is like, okay, let's shift our buying power
yeah,
to ends mostly black, not completely, but mostly. So over time, we have to see a difference. And it's going to be a difference because guess what? We ain't done that before.
yeah. That's a fact. Shout out to, is it bittersweet? Most definitely, it needs to be every day. It has to be every day. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that, do you know what it is? It's like we have like a short expectancy. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
which has always been a
And
problem.
we
That's
keep
why,
everything.
like, for me personally, I'm for like protesting. Any look, to be fair, any which way you can constructively affect change, do it. I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for it. But at the same time, we've been
Yeah.
people that were killed
Whose live is that?
um
Mine or his?
through, you know.
Okay, we're here.
Nah, that's yours, man. I got good internet over here. You got that
My
dial up
internet's
over there.
not on, it's just my data, and I have data, yeah. It's
Listen, you need to switch on that Wi-Fi.
are we good?
Yeah, you got. I think. Can everybody hear?
Yeah, I think they can because it's working well on both ends from what I can see. Everyone just put a thumbs
Oh,
up.
okay.
It's good.
I see. Now I've lost my train of thought. Now, what was I saying? People, help me
So,
out. What was I saying?
um, sorry, you was just saying,
Oh yeah, short expectancy. Short
yeah.
expectancy. Like, this is always a temporary stopgap. We've been here before with all the other riots and protests, and we've all talked about, do you know what? We all need to come together to affect change. But at the end of the day, that is only being a temporary stopgap. Then we're going back to being for ourselves. Do you understand? Like, do you know what? I hear that, but like, man, I'm trying to focus on my thing instead of focusing the bigger picture. Because do you know what? Guess what? These people them are playing chess. Do you understand? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're moving their pieces strategically. Hence why when you look at the responses from the police during this whole period, everything's been strategic. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? From how long it takes you to respond to the actual incident, 4 to 5 days. That's crazy. When you're quick to pull man over for just, I look like someone. You understand what I'm trying to say? To now, you've got white people rioting and looting, and then tagging Black Lives Matter, and it's not even us that's actually doing those certain things and everything like that, but you're making it out like it's us. These are all strategic. They're playing chess. So we need to play chess. We need to play their own game. And that's financially and economically. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that's the only way we're going to combat around this thing. You feel me?
And within our means, like you said, we have the power to be able to redesign how our life should work for us. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? They've installed so many things that they've installed for us, whether it was within our favor or not, it hasn't worked. Like, we can redesign that for ourselves. Like, we can shift our buying power. We can give ourselves knowledge that we didn't have before, that we know we need. You know, we can share knowledge. All these
Yeah.
things, we can do that. So I
Do you know
feel
what?
like, go on.
As you're going, no. Do you know what? One thing I do want to say is, and I want to say this to our black people, yeah? You see this energy that we have for promoting negative stuff. Someone got stabbed today on this road and it's going viral. You see that same energy that we have for that negative stuff. We want to send it around to everybody and anybody. Have that same energy when we achieve black excellence. When Kwame achieved 10 A stars, do you know what? Let's promote that. Let's have that same energy promoting all of that to everybody and anybody. Do you understand? Because we're too engrossed in the negative and we don't shed too much light on the positive as a people as well. Do you understand?
It don't build nothing. It don't, you know, it doesn't make us thrive. Like, so if we could push the positivity just as hard, yeah, like you said, that will push, that will spread, that will push a norm. It will look like the norm. They will start to accept it as a norm. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then the funny thing is, on top of that, let's remember social media is at our fingertips. Everything's at our fingertips. Do you know what? If we want to promote the black excellence, let's start referencing it. See how they reference us by race. Black boy kills another black boy. Let's say black man achieves his 10 A stars. Black man owns his third business or his third franchise business. Black woman owns about 5, 6 business. Yeah, you wanna reference us for the negative, our race for the negative. Let's do that and flip it around in them and reference our race, yeah, for the positive stuff. We gotta keep this balance. We can't be doing this because I'm not gonna be the black man today, yeah, and then because I fucked up, and then be the British guy tomorrow when I win, and we do good. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That makes no sense. And then I get it. When we're happy, yeah, we promote, yeah, the British man. How about like Anthony Joshua, black Anthony Joshua from London or from wherever? Do you understand? Black man won the heavyweight. Is the black man is the heavyweight title of the world? How about that? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? No, fuck this. British. No, you're not gonna just give us a name when it suits you. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like little things can all add up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's the detail in it.
It's so true.
Pay attention to detail because these are all things that they've been perpetuating. These are all the things that the society, that anyone that's outside of the black race, people are looking at us like we're the demons, we're the aggressors, we're this negative person and everything like that. We've got to, as a people, change the narrative and say, hang on here, yeah, that's that. Okay, cool. But then look how many black women and black men have graduated, got degrees, are in high-paying end jobs. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You don't want to show that. Do you know what I'm saying? How many black-owned businesses there are out there? Small to medium businesses. Look on your social media network right now, and I'm sure everyone in this live now can show me at least 5 to 6 or maybe more black people that actually have their own businesses. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm trying to. This is the thing that we need to look at, and we need to change the narrative of. Because remember, as I said,
sorry, live is gonna run out in 10 seconds, so I'm gonna restart the live. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I restart the live, everyone share it up. Yeah, I'm gonna restart it now.
Yeah, cool.
Uh, okay.